This message comes from Greenlight. Ready to start talking to your kids about financial literacy? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app that teaches kids and teens how to earn, save, spend wisely, and invest with your guardrails in place. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Join millions of parents and kids building healthy financial habits together on Greenlight. Get started risk-free at greenlight.com/Wondery.
Looking for your best sleep ever? Sleep Number smart beds are literally made for you. They adapt to your changing needs. So whether you're dealing with sore muscles or running hot at night, your bed automatically adjusts for optimal comfort. Want softer, firmer, cooler, warmer? With personalized firmness settings and temperature control that cools up to 20 times faster than leading competitors, you'll get the perfect sleep environment every night. Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? So you can choose your ideal comfort on either side. And now it's the Sleep Number Everything Smart Bed sale. Every smart bed and base are on sale during our Memorial Day event, up to 50% off, limited time, exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. See store or sleepnumber.com for details.
This is Ricey. You've been hearing my friend Josh Arnold, Mr. Money Talk, for years on the radio and Garage Logic podcast. With the new year approaching, I strongly recommend you sit down with Josh for your no-cost, no-obligation, 48-minute consultation on your investments, including your IRA and 401k. You can benefit from Josh's years of experience navigating different market and economic conditions, and he'll always give you straight talk and not sugar-coated advice. Give Josh a call now at 952-925-5608 to book your no-cost, no-obligation 48-minute consultation. That's 952-925-5608. You'll be glad that you did, and tell him Ricey sent you. Don't forget to ask, why is it 48 minutes, Josh?
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice.
Patrick Ricey is a paid endorser.
Are you trying to hear the song?
Mm-hmm. You going to play today?
You could, Pat. I guarantee you there are players on Highland as we speak.
Oh, yeah. Boy.
Oh, God, yes.
Boy, the Gopher men didn't look too good yesterday.
No, Nebraska can play some defense, and they just our fellas had a few games when they were throwing in three-pointers and looked pretty good, but they're not a great shooting team. And the other thing was Pharrell Payne, who had just been eating everybody's lunch. They attacked him, and they got big old muscular fellas just like him, and they held him to nothing. I think he had one basket or something.
They got one guy who looks exactly like a Husker. A corn husker.
Is that right?
Great big white kid. He looks like he just came right off the tractor.
Sure. Baling hay.
Got hay sticking out of his shoes.
Freddie Hoiberg was a Timberwolf. He's thinking, what was his medical problem?
He had a heart ail. I don't know exactly, but something with the heart.
He had to quit playing. Then he became the coach at Iowa State, and he invented the transfer portal before there was a transfer portal and won a lot. And then he went to the Chicago Bulls and was terrible and I don't know if he ever got fired or was going to get fired. And then he took the Nebraska job for big money. And first 3-4 years there, he's been terrible, but now he's finally got a good team, and they're going to. The Big Ten is so weird right now, Joe, that Nebraska and Northwestern are two of the four best teams.
Yeah.
And Indiana's terrible.
Yeah.
Indiana's in, the 11th place or something like that. So it's a upside down weird thing. But yeah, he's got a good team, and they're physical, and as NIL grows in importance, I'm sure that they'll be able to get some roused up some money down there.
Are schools limited to do schools have anything to do with how much NIL money a player can get?
Well, if we follow the recent court rulings that cover the states of Tennessee and West Virginia, you can now make them printed offers. You can now make them, you can just put in the paperwork and say, we'll give you this much if you're a recruiter and want to sign with us.
But the money is coming from
outside, supposedly.
People who are choosing to advertise with that player?
Yes.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yes, that's what it was originally. And you were supposed to produce some value that wasn't just being an athlete, and, by being on Instagram or something. I don't know. But now it's getting to the point, if this latest case holds up, we're just going to have bidding for players, just like in college athletes, just like in pro athletics. Not the same amount of money, I wouldn't think, but it's.
I saw Caitlin Clark yesterday on TV in a State Farm commercial.
Yes, she's in a State Farm commercial, and she's not very good in it either, by the way. And she'll be able to keep ads like that when she gets to the WNBA, obviously. But she might have to take a pay cut to leave Iowa if she loses some of her, like Hy-Vee and some of those other advertisers.
We were saying that yesterday. She's going to take a pay loss to play professionally.
Yeah. Oh God, yes. She got to be making well over $1 million now this year. Here's the funniest thing ever, though. The Gophers are entertaining Caitlin on Wednesday night, right? This game sold out in December.
Mm-hmm.
And the Gophers have announced they're going to have a maroon out at the game tomorrow. Unless they can convince 8,000 Iowans to wear maroon, I don't think it's going to work very well. I think you might have a yellow and black out is what you're going to end up having.
Wouldn't it have been great if that's what they would have announced? We're going to have a gold out, Or...
Yeah, that's right. That's what they should have said. It was a gold out.
If you're making $1 million in college, wouldn't that kind of dent the incentive to go to your 2:00 economics history class? What's the point of being in school?
Eligibility.
It's Joe. It is. The good thing, I was telling somebody, the good thing about this is our whole journalistic lives, especially in sports. If you ripped somebody who was the quarterback on the college football team, he's just a college kid.
Yep.
You should, you get that.
Yep.
Now you can treat them just like they're Kirk Cousins, man.
Right.
You just rip them because they're all making money anyway. So.
Now, you know what? There's something going on out there I don't know anything about. I don't get it. I don't get it.
It's gotten so out of control that nobody knows what the rules are. And but I always make the joke when they were starting up talking about this 5 years ago, the kid's doing enough for the school. He ought to be able to go buy himself a hamburger for lunch. Now,
I've heard that all my life.
Now he can go and buy himself a McDonald's franchise, so that's okay.
I know nothing about Caitlin Clark, and I'm basing this only on her State Farm commercial. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. She doesn't appear to have a very effervescent personality. Maybe she does. I don't know.
She is. She's a lively person. Yes, she is. But
that doesn't come through on the State Farm commercial.
She's a feistier than hell, though. She's really.
Well, she must be a hell of a player.
Oh, she is. She's good. I of course needle people by saying I discovered her because I think I told you that I saw her make a bunch of shots against Michigan a couple of years ago and got in the car and drove down to her high school in Des Moines and then drove over to Iowa City. Who is this guy? Girl, because he's making 32 footers. And, of course, about a month later she was, and then she took Iowa to the Final Four and the whole thing. But here's what. Did you see the thing on the Big Ten women's tournament that's going to be here next week?
No.
They sold out the entire tournament. 5 days.
All right.
They sold it out, and the reason they sold it out is in order to be sure of getting a ticket for the quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals, where Iowa won't have to play till the quarterfinals. So the first 2 days, which are like the teams that the bad teams are playing that have to play two almost preliminary rounds, those are sold out just so they can see Caitlin over the weekend. So that's I think you're going to be able to walk down there with your if you're somebody with your 2 kids and you want to go to the game on Wednesday or Thursday or whatever it is, you can Wednesday or Thursday you can have somebody hand you a whole handful.
Pat, I watched. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to tell you that the ticker on MLB Network says the Twins have just acquired an outfielder, Manuel Margot. He must be a right-handed hitter, right, Reavers?
Right, Reavers?
I'm sorry. I was listening to something on the computer.
Manuel Margot, outfielder from the Dodgers, I believe.
Yes, he was traded from Tampa, I believe.
And the Twins just got him. According to MLB Network, the Twins traded the Dodgers, and I don't know who we sent to the Dodgers.
Pat, I watched a fair amount of the girls' high school hockey tournament, and I had a reason to do so. My Hill Murrays lost the final 2-0 to Edina. I went into it thinking, I'm going to watch this because I bet I was anticipating such a skill level that I was betting to myself that I bet these top-flight girls' teams could beat a boys' team from, say, the early 60s in high school.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I'm now saying no, they can't.
Well, the physical nature of it is different.
I noticed some other differences besides the physical nature. I would say that the girls are excellent skaters. I didn't see a bad skater. They can really skate.
They can skate, yeah.
That was beautiful skating, but then that's where it stopped. They're not fast. The playmaking leaves a lot to be desired, and there's not a lot of shooting on the net.
Well, I did not see the games, but I'm worried. I'm rooting for that Hill Murray team, right?
Well, it's too late
because half those kids are from Eastridge.
Yeah.
So the more that go to Hill Murray, the better chance the granddaughter has to be on a varsity in a couple of years, I think.
Well, is your granddaughter a good skater?
She's okay. She's a good skater. Yeah,
I was impressed with how well these kids can skate. But
they can wheel and deal, and they, the fact that they can take a look down at the puck, and not have to worry about somebody bashing into them helps too.
And they can probably skate better than the average boys team from the early '60s. They're probably better skaters. But without that physical component and without sharper playmaking, they'd probably still get beat by a boys' team from the early 60s.
But the phenomenal thing about it is when you look back at when it started in the mid-'90s. And
oh, my God, they used to be called ringette.
Yeah, and then they made it hockey, and the puck would come down the rink, and the goalie'd look at it, and it'd go through her legs.
Right.
And, skates, and now they make saves, and
it's fantastic.
It's an entertaining game.
Yeah.
And it's just so much of a different sport that it's hard to compare. But I enjoy going to the girls' games.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's okay. You see all the grandpas and out there, and like I was talking to the grandpa from Apple Valley, who's about my age, and we were both saying, "Never think you'd be sitting here watching this stuff."
Right. Right. Yes, Reavers.
This from John Bonus, Patrick. The Twins have acquired outfielder Manuel Margot, prospect Rain Duncan, who is a third baseman, and cash from the Dodgers for prospect Noah Miller, who is a shortstop. Apparently, Here's my
former number one. Wasn't he one of their number one or two draft choices? So the Dodgers are trying to get rid of an outfielder then, huh?
But is this a sign that they're worried about Byron already? Because Manuel Margot is a center fielder.
No, I don't think it is. I think it's a sign they think they need a right-handed hitter.
Okay.
So,
what's the over/under on Byron's first dropout of the lineup?
We don't know. When's the over? Oh, yeah, the over and under on when we'll first get to see him play.
No, when's the over/under on when he first gets hurt?
Well, I think he has to play first.
Yeah, that's true.
He hasn't played yet, so as I predicted, they'll probably not put him out there until about the 15th of the month. So
April or March?
No, March. I don't know. He's moving around and he looks okay, and he's taking outfield drills and stuff.
It's a different team if you get 150 games out of him.
Yeah, you won't get 150. If you get 5 a week and you play 20, that'd be 130. We'll take 130. Won't we?
Well, you will. I want 150.
Well, yeah, but you don't. You'd find anybody who doesn't play 150 $1 million.
That's right, I would.
Yes.
How many players in Major League Baseball played them all last year?
I can look that up.
I think one or two.
Isn't that something? That's the end of the world. Jeez.
Yeah, well, part of it is not them; it's the managers. They won't let them.
4 players were tied for the most games in 2023 with 162 games. Matt Olson, first baseman for the Braves, good player.
Right.
Marcus Semien for your world champion Texas Rangers. He's a second baseman.
Yeah.
And I forget how to pronounce his first name. Is it Eugenio Suarez? He was with the Mariners, but now he's with
Suarez,
Arizona.
They got Arizona, yeah.
Yep.
Yes. And that's 3.
Oh, that's 3. Who am I missing here? The 4th one is Juan Soto for the San Diego Padres. Who's about to be a very rich guy.
4 players.
Yes, one of these days. He hit a double here today to drive in 2 runs against our Fighting
Which
Twins.
twin played the most games last year?
All right. I was just going to say that we have about 6 more that played in 160. So
they're to be commended.
All right.
Didn't have any.
Twins with them. I'm going to scroll.
I think Correa hadn't hardly missed any until the end of the year. I think he missed a week or something, but he was playing most of the time.
Pat, our Wild went off and they snuck one in Edmonton and snuck one in Seattle.
That top line is flying, right? Mm-hmm. Did you ever think that Eck would be a 30-goal scorer? Wow.
No, but he's not afraid to stand around in front of the net.
No, and he's great. And then put those 2 guys with him, man. That line is great. That line's been terrific. I haven't watched them that much, but I sure as heck have been looking at. They lose that first game on that road trip, and you figure, they're in trouble now. Edmonton, and they beat Edmonton, and Edmonton then had the best record in the league for about 3 months, right?
Patrick, you were right. Correa led the team with 135 games, right in front of Donovan Solano with 134, who is no longer on the team.
No longer with it. And is one of those poor guys who doesn't have a job either.
He's a good player. I can't believe he doesn't have a job.
He can get a hit, yeah, right-handed hitter. I'm surprised. Well, there's a lot of wily veterans out there who don't have jobs. The Twins aren't the only budget-cutting team out there, so...
How about the kid that won the Mexican Open for his first ever tour victory? And 2 years ago, he was a nightclub bouncer.
And how about these guys, Joe, that, I don't like Liv, but when you look at the leaderboard at Liv, most weeks we've heard of everybody compared to who these guys are that are winning tournaments on the PGA Tour.
Yeah. This guy's name is Jake Knapp, and I had never heard of him before.
No, and the guy who finished second, you probably never heard of either.
Sammy,
some Finlander.
Villamaki, who's a big hockey fan, I guess. The first guy I heard of was in the field was C.T. Pan, was about fifth or sixth. Mm-hmm. And Fino and Eric Van Ruin had decent tournaments. Maverick McNeely I've heard of. Brandon Wu I've heard of. Keith Mitchell I've heard of. Martin Trainer I've heard of, and that's it. There was not really any names in this tournament.
No, and that, what was it, a full field one? Must
have
been full field. Must have been full. You know, the Mexico Open, Hollis was in on starting getting that tournament back in Mexico. It was one of those World Golf Championship events. Mm-hmm. And then then the pandemic came around, and that screwed that thing up. And then they basically just, they disappeared, and then they came back with this event, and it's different, the golf course, different guy behind it too, I think.
And the Timberwolves are winning. We're a champion team, as you've pointed out, champion city.
We are championship city. The Loons won.
Yeah.
The Wild are hot, and the Wolves are okay. The Wolves still have the best record in the West, but they came out of the break not making shots, and they lost to the Bucks, and then pretty much, I guess they played fairly awful against who are they playing? Brooklyn and the Nets, and then they came back and won that game. So,
man, I'm just looking at the schedule. The Wolves have 4 straight home games. They're home through Sunday.
This is part of a 6-game home streak.
Holy mackerel!
They were hoping to sweep it, but that's already been lost. But if they could, they win 4 more. Then they head out there. Then they get a tournament or two in there. They must get the women's and I think the girls play their state tournament at Williams, and the boys play it at Target, if I'm not mistaken. So when do we get the boys' high school hockey tournament? Now 2 weeks now, right? This week's wrestling.
Yeah.
This week's wrestling.
It's usually St. Patrick's Day weekend, isn't it?
No, it's before then usually. I don't know. All I know is
I'll be back for it. Yeah. I'll be back.
You'll be here to cover it,
because you're in Fort Myers when the hockey tournament's
going on.
I
used to do it the other way, and after the boredom of this spring training, I'm looking forward to the hockey tournament. Something's lively. Joe, they just play. I was over in Boston yesterday. Took Katie with me. You sit there, and you spend the whole game saying, "Who the hell's this guy? I never heard of this guy." The Twins. The Prince bring in Stankiewicz. By the time you figure out who he is, he's given up 3 runs. So they don't make any decisions anymore on who's going to beat out who or anything like that. It's just all set up, and you don't get to see good. You just don't get good batting practice anymore. You don't get the batting practice where the guy's just throwing it in there nice and easy, and they're hitting 500-foot home runs.
Pat, we got to do our pause.
Oh, okay. Time for the pause.
And the Valley Group.
The Valley Group of GM dealers. I did a little research today. I thought I found out we got 4 SUVs, 4 variety of SUVs. The smaller one, the Ed Vista, which is all new, according to the ads, all the way up to the bigger one. You got 4 SUVs, 0.9% interest on something like that. What the heck? That's almost that's almost like free money, isn't it?
Pat, they're giving them away.
0.9% interest. When you go to a restaurant, you give somebody a 20% tip, right?
Yeah.
Here, you give them a 1% tip for the money. It's an amazing thing, and every SUV you could want and every size possible out there. Brett Paul's Valley Group of GM dealers got a bunch of them in stock. They got 120 cars out there ready to go at Apple Valley, and also in Hastings is the Valley Group dealer. So 0.9%, you can't afford not to buy a car. There you go. See ya. What else we got?
Here, what do we got?
What are you doing?
Oh, I was going to bring up, Patrick, not that I'm one that wants to stir up any type of litigation, but Joe Soucheray might have a beef with Freddie Hoiberg. He, in fact, I believe, stole your nickname. He is known as the mayor in Iowa State.
Really?
In
He
Ames.
was a great player at Iowa State, and why did they decide to call him the mayor?
Because someone explained this to me once.
That's copyrighted.
I know. You might have a beef because he obviously would have come after the start of Garage Logic.
Yes.
But it's something about how he built the city, when he was a great player at Iowa State. Somebody explained it to me years ago, and I forgot. But that was his nickname.
They won a lot of his games when he was down there, and maybe because he came off as a politician, right?
Maybe, yeah, you could be right.
Is he an Iowan by birth?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me look that up. I can look that up.
But unlike you, he is a politician.
That's right.
He is from Lincoln, Nebraska.
Oh, he's home now.
So now he's home.
Well, maybe it says he's from Rensselaer. Maybe that says he's where he's living now. Is he from Lincoln originally?
No, it says he was born October 15th, 1972, Lincoln, Nebraska.
All right. Well, okay. Yeah, he's finally having a good year, getting his money's worth. So,
Pat, right now here in the old Twin Cities, it's 60 degrees.
I know. Reavers told me that. I can't believe it.
And it'd have to gain 4 degrees to break a 128-year-old record of 64 degrees.
Is this supposed to last for a while?
Yeah, this weekend it's supposed to be glorious.
No, it's weird, though. Tomorrow's cold and snowy, and then right back up into warm temperatures.
You know what that means?
What's that mean?
It means we're going to get the Calcutta. She's going to
come
swing down,
swing around, swing up.
Man, so it's going to come in, be cold, and then get warm again, huh?
Yeah, the Sunday high is near 70.
Man, they were playing college baseball games over the weekend. St. John's had a doubleheader Sunday, and that was only in the 40s, right? And then River Falls must have a turf field over there. They had a bunch of teams coming over there and using their place to play baseball over the weekend. Mm-hmm. The local college baseball, these teams go south to play, right? The local college baseball teams are a little bit ahead of schedule this year for playing home games, like 2 months.
Patrick, I've got it, and it's even better than I thought. Freddie Hoiberg obtained the nickname the Mayor after receiving several write-in votes during the 1993 Ames, Iowa mayoral race.
Oh, okay.
That is fantastic.
That's how he became the mayor. Okay.
Pat, I said tomorrow's the cold day. Wednesday's the cold day. 21-degree high.
Just in time for me to land in town.
Yeah, but Thursday's 50, Friday 59, and then 60s on the weekend.
Thank goodness.
You can take a Royce walk.
Thank goodness we had our great neighbor gal, Daphne, the kid, checking the mail and putting it in the house. And I told you the heater went out, right?
Yep.
We, although might have never got cold enough to freeze the water in the house, huh? So
no, you would have been all right.
We might have survived.
Yeah.
But anyway, we got the heater working when we get home. So
you might have needed a bigger pail if you had the...
Yeah, that's right.
I'll talk to you when you get back to town.
All right. It'll be much better next week, we promise, folks.
Oh, yeah.
We'll give you your money's worth.
Sure.
Bye-bye.
See you later.
Bye.
It's the new year, and everyone is talking about their resolutions. Resolutions are based on topics for which we have become complacent. The Canopy Group has a New Year's resolution for you. Last year, over 2,700 Minnesotans conquered their complacency and contacted the Canopy Group for their home and auto insurance needs. That is an easy call because 80% of those people had only one agent with one company. No options. The Canopy Group offered them 40 professionals with 16 companies. Many options. The Canopy Group's New Year resolution has always been to annually examine every existing Canopy client. Each and every day, the Canopy Group team is reaching out to their client base and moving many clients from one of their 16 companies to a different company that they also represent. This is a great call for the Canopy Group to make because it is their ongoing promise to always provide their clients with the best coverage at the best price and forever doing away with insurance complacency. Call 800-967-3389 or visit thecanopygroup.com.